Welcome back to our first backpacking trip of 2026, a spring break, and once again we are in the desert of southeastern Utah. We're in Bears Ears region. This trip we're going to do 3 days and 2 nights down Fish Canyon and up Owl Canyon. A nice little loop. I think the loop itself is about 15 miles, but we're going to do some exploring a little farther down Fish Canyon and maybe up McLeod Canyon if all goes well. It's pretty crisp here this morning. Probably, I don't know, temperatures low 50s, but it's sunny, very slight breeze. So hopefully it should be a good trip. We've been out here a day or so exploring already. This time it's just CQ and I. Scott and Steve aren't here. Thanks for coming out and following along with us, and let's go see what this has to offer. We have about 1.7 miles, I think, across this top of this Mesa area. Then we start our big descent. We have to drop 900 feet in less than a mile down to the valley floor, where we spend most of the time until we hike out 2 days from now. Luckily, the hike out is a less steep ascent than the descent is. We also have one little section that might be a little sketchy. It's about a 10-15 foot rock scramble. We did bring a rope with us just in case to lower the packs down. We were supposed to do this trip 2 years ago, but we couldn't get back to the trailhead because the road was really muddy. So we're coming back for a little redemption on that. Should be a great hike. Pretty excited to see if we can find some ruins that we weren't expecting. I know there's a few down here. So here we go. We've been following a dry stream bed so far. Looks like we're gonna pop out of it right here. Temperature's been perfect for hiking, not hot at all. Cool. This is supposed to be the coolest day of the trip, or at least that's what it said Friday when I checked the weather. Quick little side detour brought us to this view. I'm guessing right down here is the canyon we're going to be following. Trail's heading that way now. Alright, the trail's been fun so far, pretty easy. Some ups and downs, like a little whoop-de-doo course on a BMX track, but other than that, it's been pretty mellow. I think we're probably within, I don't know, a third of a mile or so of dropping down into the canyon. We'll take a good rest once we get down there. To the bottom, that is. We just started part one of our descent down this flat little bench area here before we get to the canyon rim, which looks like I said not much more than a quarter mile straight from us. All right, I think we found the start of the drop off. At least that's what it looks like from here. This should be fun and interesting. All right, here we go. 900 feet down in a mile. All right, so here's the big ledge. It's right at the start of this. Not too hard to scramble down, but we did lower the packs. Quick look at it from the bottom up. Not too hard. Pretty steep coming down some slick rock here afterwards. Probably shouldn't be filming. luckily there are cairns taking us down here so we can find our way. We're probably about 2/3 of the way down now. There are a bunch of different paths going down. It's just picking one that looks the best to you. All right, feels like we're down to the bottom now, looking way up where we just came from. There, it was pretty fun actually, going down. I enjoyed it. But I'm more excited than just walking on the boring flat trail. Not quite down into the canyon bottom yet, but we're close. Looks like a little bit farther down. Alright, it was closer than I thought. And we got some water right down here in the canyon, which is a good sign. Everything's been so dry out here. I wasn't sure. We got a waterfall though. We're going to have to work our way around somehow. Find a trail. There's the sign for people coming up canyon. And a nice deep pool. Good amount of water here, right in the start of the canyon. Hopefully it doesn't dry up. I'm not sure what our water situation is until we get down farther. Another pool with about look like a 10-12 foot waterfall drop off there. And Kate just found the perfect sitting rock here. Look how nice and square this thing is. Whew. So good to be back down here in the canyon bottoms hiking again. Makes me really happy. We just had a little section of bushwhacking to get around this stream, which doesn't look too much here, but down another 20 yards or so, it becomes a little too big just to jump across. So we'll get across here, and I'll show you it down there where it's definitely a little wider and a little deeper. So this canyon's pretty cool and looks like it needs to be explored. Not today though. Alright, now you can start seeing how this creek went from almost nothing to 8-10 feet wide. Nothing I'm going to jump with a backpack on. It's the third week of March and we are having really good water here. I should probably fill up a liter. We lost a liter when we did that down climb. My pack got set kind of wonky and I lost one, so I should probably fill up before we get too far away from this. Possibly a cliff dwelling up on this upper level here. It's hard to see in this camera. Let's see if we can zoom in some. That could be one right there. Looks like a good spot for one. I can see glimpses of the actual trail to our left here as we hike down, but since it's mostly dry, mine was to just take the wash down and just go around when there's some pockets of water. We're still finding some water a little farther apart than they were before. Hopefully we're not going to run out of water in the draw here, but we'll see. We're going to stop in about 10 minutes, have lunch, maybe find some water. And we are just finishing up our lunch break. We stopped about 5 miles in for the day. I don't think we have more than 6 to go today. Maybe less than that. I'm not sure exactly how far down it is to the V, and then how far we're going to go past the V to find a place to camp, and also to find some water. That's our next thing we're looking for. While it was pretty plentiful the first mile and a half, 2 miles, this last probably mile and a half has been pretty dry. So I'm hoping we find some pools up here to finish 1 liter, and then maybe pack 2 more in for now until we get down to where the junction of Fish and Owl is. We'll see you down the trail in just a little bit. We just stopped a little bit after lunch to fill up water. I've been passing a few small puddles. Once we got this big one, I figured we better get it down. I was down to less than a liter, and Kate had a liter left. So we got 3 liters between us, and we should be set for a little while. The river bed, creek bed, just drops away all of a sudden. See how big of a drop this actually is. Doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, easy way down. The going's been going pretty good this afternoon. Still a combination of walking in the stream bed, occasional trail every once in a while. I'm guessing temperatures near close to 70 degrees. It's quite pleasant. If you stand around too long or the wind stops blowing, it does get a little warm, but we'll take it. Hopefully tonight won't be too bad. Ooh, it's getting late in the day and we're still pushing on. I think both of us are getting a little bit tired. I think we're about 1.5 miles from the junction. We'll start keeping our eye out for a campsite when we get there. We made it to the intersection of Owl and Fish Canyon. We've passed a couple groups of people, and what everybody says is there is no water until after Neville. About 10 minutes past Neville, there's some water. We have about 3 liters on us right now, so we can enough to get through the night. We stopped here, scattered around, found a possible site, but Cade says he's up for trying a couple more miles, maybe go up towards Neville's. So this is the intersection of Fish Camera on the right and Owl Canyon on the left. We're going to go back up here just, I don't know, less than 50 yards and catch the trail that goes up Owl Canyon. We're going to head towards Neville. If we find a good spot before then, we'll camp, or else maybe we'll have to camp at Neville. I don't know what's past there, and hope that one of the sites at Neville is open. So here we go. We've been sticking mainly to the trail this time. The riverbed, or creek bed, it's got a lot of good softball size loose boulders in it, which look like a good opportunity to roll some ankles. So we're just trying to take the least path of least resistance right now as we're pushing on. We're less than 1 mile, I think, to Neville's Arch. All right, that bit of light right there is our first look at Neville's Arch. Somewhere around here, that campground, I'm guessing it's on the other side of that bluff there. So we're almost there. We're going to start finding anything we can to camp at. All right, we found a site below Neville's Arch there. Looks like there's two sites here, and there's one just behind us. This one looks pretty good to me, so I think we're going to take this one. See what Kate thinks as soon as he gets here. It's been a long day. My watch says 13 miles. We'll see if that's true or not, but you made it, bud. Good job. All right, we got camp all set up tonight. Kate's chilling out there. Everything's set up inside. My watch said 13 miles, but the app says 11.6, which seems about right. Gives us just about 5 miles out tomorrow, probably about a mile to water. We have about 3 liters, so we got no shortage of water. We just can't drink quite as much as we want here. We'll have dinner for a little bit and try to save a liter between both of us for our hike out tomorrow. But unless anything else happens, we're going to call that a day. All right, not that anything's really else happening, but right up there, you see right above my head there is Neville's Arch. It was a lot bigger than I thought it was. Also a very thick looking arch. Pretty cool. I'd love to go up there, but right now I definitely don't have the energy, and probably tomorrow morning I won't have it either, but we'll see. It's, I think a couple hundred feet climb up there, so I don't know. Probably not going to happen, but we'll find out tomorrow morning, so we'll see you then. Take care. Good morning from day 2. It was a pretty warm night last night. Didn't shiver too much, which is a good sign. We are slowly getting packed up here. It's about 8:30. As you can see, the sunlight's just hitting behind us, but not where we are here, so it is a little chilly here. We got about a mile or so to water this morning. We'll kind of pack up and head up there. I'll probably wait there to have breakfast, and then from there I think it's only 4 miles out, so not too long of a day today, but it's been a great hike so far, so hopefully we'll see some more pretty stuff this morning. I know there's a ruin just before we get out that we'll take a look at. Other than that, we'll see what the trail has to bring today. Talk to you in just a little bit. And we're off. Just a couple minutes out of camp, and we made it into the warming sunlight, which is nice. Kate's following the creek up, not so much necessarily because he wants to, but he managed to not follow the trail. So we'll sure the trail's right over there somewhere. They go to the same place, it's just a little rockier. And he managed to find the trail where it crossed the wash there. Our sunlight's going to be short-lived here. Going back into canyons again. I don't know if I said it last time or not, but I managed to get 2 blisters yesterday, both kind of on the outside of my feet below the ankles, and they're not too painful, but definitely a little bit easier walking on the trail than the riverbed. It doesn't seem to rub them as much. Hopefully they won't give me too much problem. I got them taped up really good. All right, we ran into our first bit of water. It was about 0.5, 0.6 miles up from camp. We'll see if Cade wants to keep going. There's supposed to be water from here up, so maybe we'll keep going till we run a little drier and stop there. See how he feels. We just walked down another 4 or 5 minutes and found this spot in the sun, which seemed like a pretty good spot to sit and enjoy the morning sun and filter some water. There's no need pushing us. We're dehydrated from last night, so we might as well take advantage of it now while we can. Looking up canyon from where we're sitting right here, it looks like we're almost at the head of Owl Canyon right there, which doesn't look more than a third of a mile away, so it looks like we're going to have to do some climbing quicker than I thought today. A little steeper than I thought too, but we'll just take it nice and slow and get up there when we get up there. No hurry. All right, well, the canyon tricked us a little bit. It It was a head wall kind of there, but it turns to the right, so no climbing quite yet. We'll get up in that canyon, that part of the canyon I should say. Just got off the kind of floor there, went above, and a nice little pull down here, cool pour off. I had to stop and take off my fleece I put on. It's getting a little warm. Once again, we find the canyon serpentining back on itself, twisting and turning and making for really beautiful, enjoyable hiking. As long as I don't get cactuses. After a pretty cool start to the morning, it is quickly warming up here already. It's probably got to be high 60s already, if not. Alright, we've started climbing out of the canyon bottom at least a little bit. I don't know if this is the start of exiting. Seems pretty short of distance for us. Traveled to exit already, or just kind of going along the side here. Came up to the big pool area here. Just above that falls and pool, there's another split. The canyon goes off to the left, and we're taking the one heading to the right here. The trail keeps teasing us every time we think we're making some elevation. It ends up dropping us back down into the stream bed. It is probably low to mid 70s already, so we're taking a little break here in the shade. I can see the top, and it's way up there. You can kind of see it behind us, but that's not where we're heading. We're heading the opposite direction. So we're probably going to start our climb after this break, get us up to the top. Yay. And it's on. It ain't joking around. There's where we got to get to eventually. Looking back down canyon the way we came through here, then to the left there, and onward. There's our first trail marker. The cairns are pulling us along this rock ledge back kind of the way we came, so hope they're going the right way. We just found a nice little shade spot, and I was feeling tired, and Kate agreed to stop with me. We're going to eat a little food here before we finish. Hopefully the final push up towards the top. We still probably got a mile and a half, something like that. But we'll see. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but it does look like it's pretty exposed. And as I said, it's been a really warm day so far, surprisingly. So, all right, we'll get going after some food. We'll see you. And we're off after a nice break in the shade. We filtered some more water. And now we got a tricky little section to work around here. This section, as we work our way up, it's definitely been tiring, especially in the warm heat, but we're getting up there slowly, taking our time. We'll get there. This is the sketchiest and most climbing section we've had here. I know I've said this before, but I'm pretty sure we are finally on our final pushes up towards the rim. Cade's doing great. All right, we might have been on that final push, but I managed to get us a bit lost. We're on the wrong side of this cliff, so I have to backtrack. I think 0.1, 0.2 miles, not far, but get on the other side of the rock that I'm facing. Good job, Jay. All right, we didn't get off too far, only a minute or two. Came up this slab here, and I turned left, and I should have turned right, I think. All right, so here's the way we should have gone. Somehow I missed this, Karen. Good job on me. Luckily, I checked the map. I think we could have got out that way. We just would have missed the ruins and not quite the way we wanted to go out, so. Whew. Still working our way up. Getting steeper. Followed a couple false leads. Had to backtrack. But I think we're almost at the top. Alright, we made it up to the Mesa. We may have missed the ruin there. We ran into a guy that we met down below that had his dog, and we had to help him get the dog up a ledge and end up having to dump Cade's pack and pull out the rope and throw it around the dog's chest and give him some assistance going up, which is kind of a bummer if I miss this room because of it, but that's okay. We're up top. We'll see what's up here. Get back to the car probably. Talk to you in a little bit. All right, back at the car, and that's a wrap for this adventure. Didn't quite get everything out of it we wanted to, as far as we came back a day early because I didn't pay enough attention to the water situation and didn't want to risk it, which was the better choice to make. Also, because of the way we scrambled at the end there, hooking up with that guy and his dog, we kind of missed the ruin, which I'm bummed about. I really would have liked to have seen that. Other than that, though, it was a great trip. That coming out was pretty tough. I honestly don't know if coming out fish or coming out owl would be harder. Granted, the owl was steeper, but it was more straightforward, I think, than coming out fish. So either way, you are gonna work. If you get a chance, come on out and enjoy this area. This is a great area. Lots of good hiking here. So with that, guys, I am going to sign off and hope you have many good hiking adventures. And until next time, guys, hike on.